Welcome to the Thriving Artist Podcast, where we share strategies and support for artists to thrive.
We know that the art world can feel like a lonely place, and we want to provide a network of support, impactful strategies, and an abundance of encouragement to help you grow your authentic art career.
We're your hosts. I'm Jamie Smith.
And I'm Kaylan Butine, and we are also the co-founders of the Thrive Together Network, a community of female and non-binary identifying artists and artists who are caregivers.
We truly believe in community over competition, and we're so glad you're here. Enjoy this episode.
Welcome to the Thriving Artist Podcast. We are almost at the end of a full year of podcasting together, which is crazy, over 50 episodes. I'm one of your hosts, Kaylan Butine, and I have been podcasting since 2018 when I started the Artist Mother podcast.
And I'm Jamie Smith. I'm your second host, and I am a similar story. 2017, I started Thrive Talks, a podcast, and I love doing it. It's a lot of fun. This one is especially fun doing this with Kaylan. And nowadays, we enjoy sharing these practical tips and career advice and support for artists. It's a lot of fun to put these together.
Absolutely. I truly love writing these episodes. They actually help me implement sort of the things that I need to be doing in my own art career and help keep me accountable. We gotta walk the walk, Jamie, if we're gonna talk the talk, you know?
Yeah.
So it's good. So today we're sharing a timely episode about planning for the new year. We're sharing 5 steps for how to map out your year as an artist. And in last week's episode, number 54, we talked about 5 simple ways to plan smarter as an artist. Those are tips that you can really use any time of the year, but will kind of get you in a good planning mindset. And today's episode is specifically positioned for this season for how to wrap up the year that we're in and to plan ahead for your next amazing year as an artist.
Yes, it's that time of year where it feels like a clean slate is on its way. So it's very exciting. So our step number 1 is to do a brain dump. So we have our Thriving Artist Map. It's a studio planner. It's a career guide. We've written it for our members of the network, but we now, because of the studio planner, any artist can use it. Mm-hmm. And we're really excited because we just believe that having a place to brainstorm, to write down your goals, your ideas, to brain dump everything is really, really, really important. So our first step is to brain dump. This means you're going to write down all the goals, all the things you're excited for the new year. But again, we're not going to do all of these things. We just want to get them out of our head. So this is the space to let it flow. Don't judge yourself. Don't tell yourself you can't do it. This is the place that is open to you to brain dump, get it out of your head.
Absolutely. I love doing this activity. It's the one time that I'm actually not afraid of a blank piece of paper like I am a blank canvas. So it's really fun to let loose and just write down a bunch of ideas for your work, to dream a little bit for your art career. And you actually may already have some concrete plans for the new year, like a big exhibition that's been booked in, and you definitely want to put that on the list too. So it's not just your ideas, but it's kind of what's already happening and then additional ideas that you're going to brain dump and throw it all on that piece of paper. So the next step after you've done your brainstorming is number 2, sort by size. So again, we have worksheets just for this activity in the Thriving Artist Map that kind of sets you up with the categories. But it's important to sort goals that you really want to do by size and spend some time thinking about how much effort and energy will go into each goal. We recommend sorting your goals by big, medium, and small. And I wanted to give you some examples of what a big, medium, and small goal would be. So some examples, a big goal for me would be to create a new body of work for a solo show that I have booked. A medium goal would be to create and purchase better promo and packaging materials for when I sell my work. So making a new design for my business cards and maybe some stickers and getting those things printed. And then a small goal would be to schedule a couple studio visits with some artists, to kind of have that as a goal, that maybe every other month I'm setting up a virtual studio visit with an artist friend, or inviting somebody to look at my work. Jamie, do you have some big, medium, and small goals that you could share as examples for us?
Yeah, I'm excited for next year doing a Taking Up Space show, and it's going to be in the spring. I'm not sure if I'll do it by myself or with other artists, but it's definitely having a show this year is going to be important to me. So that would be a big goal. A medium goal is booking in some consultations with Penny Lane Shen, and she's an artist consultant that I work with. And getting those booked in, they create these real deadlines for me for creating work and really help me get to my big goal, which is my show. So, and then I would have small goals. I really want to make sure my studio time is consistent. So, a small goal for me, and right now this doesn't feel that small. So, but a smaller size goal would be trying to get to the studio for a certain amount of time each week, or at least have work at home to work on during the time. So, yeah, I think it's really useful to have these put into different sizes, because we can see where our energy needs to go. We start to see that, this smaller goal leads to my bigger goal, which is really exciting.
Absolutely. Not all goals are sized the same or take the same amount of resources and effort. And I think mapping out your year, you really have to think about the different sizes of the goals. Like, that's important.
Mm-hmm. And our third step is very important. This is to identify your no's. So when we're mapping out our new year, we really want to make sure that we're thinking about what we don't want to spend time on. And hopefully we've kind of learned this from past experiences, or we just know in our gut that this is not what we want to do. We do have this again written in the Thriving Artist Map, a place for you to really show what you're not focusing on. This is a really valuable activity because it helps us with boundaries. It helps us with what we care about. So where are we going to put our energy? And again, if we've written down these big goals, and we do this a lot in a new year, is how are we going to get there and stick to it and get them done? And typically that means saying some no's during the year. We want quality of goals, not quantity, and no's are going to help you get there.
Absolutely. It's all about having some good boundaries. So after you've done this big work of brainstorming your goals, sorting them by size, and then identifying those no's, we think it's best to figure out your system for implementation. So step number 4 is to set up a system. And what we mean by this is getting yourself organized and setting mile markers for planning and for that goal strategy. So we really recommend joining our community, the Thrive Together Network, and using the Thriving Artist Map for this work, because it's literally all built in for you. We have mapped it out for you. We've said, here's when you need to check in with your goals. Here's when you need to, do this thing. Here's your time to celebrate. Here's your time to reflect. We've created a system that will help you kind of reconnect and have that consistent accountability to what you want to do as an artist. All you have to do is plug into the community and follow the Thriving Artist Map. And that part of it, that system is kind of done for you, which is pretty great.
We literally made it because we needed it. And we thought, wouldn't it be amazing if there was a guide? And we know that in being an artist and in the arts, it's the long game. Things take typically a lot longer than we even think, or they will, or we want them to. And so you kind of need a year to get some of these things done. It doesn't really work just joining for a month or, a few weeks, but having this year together. And it kind of becomes a challenge at the beginning of the year. It's been amazing. We did this last year as well. We have artists that joined us at the beginning of the year and they stuck with this system and they stayed accountable, and it's amazing the growth and what happened. So we definitely think you should consider, jumping in and joining us at this point of the year. Commit to a year with us. And again, you can do this on your own. We believe in you. We know that, it's possible, and it's just about sticking with it each week, each month, and each quarter. We just think it's a little bit more fun with over hundreds of artists and meeting artists every week to make this happen. So we're here for you. We're excited.
And we designed the map beautifully. So, it's just a fun book to have hanging around your studio. And
Everyone loves a good workbook,
everyone
Kaylan.
loves a good workbook. Maybe we love a good workbook more than the
Yeah, we
next
might.
people.
We might.
All right. So as we wrap up this episode, our final step to mapping out your year as an artist, number 5, is to reflect and rest. Definitely don't skip this one. It may be the hardest one to find time for, especially around the holidays, but we really encourage you to set apart some time to do some writing, to do some reflection on the year that you've just had. We really believe in the power of reflection and celebrating our goals. We do so much as artists, and taking a little time to remind ourselves of all of that stuff we do is so important for shaping our mindset so that we can stay positive, stay in an abundant and growth mindset, and to grow our confidence. So you can actually easily find some of our end of year reflection questions if you head back to episode 18 of the Thriving Artist podcast, where we mapped out a way for you to do this. That's the title of that episode is 4 questions to wrap up your year powerfully. This exercise is also in the Thriving Artist map, and we're going to do it together. By the way, if you're not feeling the big excitement of this year ending and are actually having a bit of anxiety maybe, or you're feeling a ton of stress and you're not being inspired to be positive, like we're trying to help you feel, we have an episode coming out next week that might be a little more your jam. So be sure to tune into episode 56, which is all about how to connect with our emotions and find, just more compassion for ourselves this time of year, maybe when we're not feeling super excited about planning.
Mm-hmm. And that's okay. This doesn't have to be done right now. It can be done in the new year or even take some time, but we want to provide the tools and the community. And so we do have free art and tea sessions that are happening on Tuesdays right now. You can go to the website, thrivetogethernetwork.com to join us. Make sure you jump on the newsletter, follow us on Instagram. That's the easiest way to get all the right links and make sure that you don't miss out, because we are actually going to go through how to map out. We're going to do it together in real time, and you'll have the experience of what it's like to do art and tea with us every week. And it really does work for us artists that show up and do the work, which is so exciting. So whether you're in our community or not, we hope this episode was helpful as you plan your year. You've got this. You're going to do great big things. And as always, we are here for you. We are cheering you on, and we believe in the work that you're doing as thriving artists.